Live from London, United Kingdom, we bring you Miss Trans Global 2020. Who is Miss Trans Global? Miss Trans Global must be a confident, creative and eloquent queen who is willing to work with the MTG organization to achieve its goal of raising awareness on transgender issues worldwide. Please donate whatever you have to help our community at these difficult times of COVID-19. Go to our website misstransglobal.com/donate. Now I give you the Miss Trans Global contestants from all around the world with their queen's speech.
I am Maria Bethany Thompson, a breadwinner, an advocate of Lakambini Association of Transgenders in the Philippines, a public school teacher, and a coordinator of GOD, Gender and Development Program.
I am teaching in a hinterland school in our city. I have to ride a habal-habal motorcycle to reach my destination. Along with Gender and Development Program, I am also pushing Anti-Bullying Act in our school because bullying is really a serious matter and it sometimes leads to depression and worst, suicide.
As a teacher by profession, I believe that there is a great need for my learners to learn about SOGI, sexual orientation and gender identity and expression. A school should be a gender-sensitive and gender-inclusive institution that is equitable and sustainable for everyone. By integrating SOGI in our curriculum, we can eradicate any form of gender-based discrimination and violence and any act of bullying that has to do with gender.
Negra, Putot, Tambo,
Bayot,
Pangit. 56% of students witness bullying at school.
15% of all students skips class because of bullying.
71% of all students reports bullying as an ongoing problem. Usa sa pulo ang balik-balik eskwelahan tungod niini.
Social networking has provided new environment for bullying to take place.
Inform every student of the effects and the consequences that bullying does to other people.
Any form of bullying is never acceptable. There should be no place in our society for hate, violence, and discrimination. So speak up and stand proud.
I will not be a bully.
We will help the bully.
I will speak up against bullying. Stand up
Stand up.
Stand up.
against bullying.
I see Miss Global more than just a crown, but it is more of a responsibility to perform and an obligation to fulfill. If I will be crowned Miss Trans Global 2020, I will continue my causes and advocacies. I will continue to raise awareness about sexual orientation and gender identity and expression, not just in the school I am teaching, but in different parts of my country, and if given the chance, in the world at large. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Honey and I'm from Australia. And let me introduce you to Anthony and the Johnsons. I hope you enjoy this little clip.
I fell in love with the devil. Oh, such a beautiful. Oh, such a beautiful. I ask you, boy or girl, what?
You may wonder why I'm holding a makeup mirror. I've been asked to look at myself and answer the question, what would I practically do if I was Miss Trans Global for 1 year? I'd do 3 things. The first of those things would be to create and disseminate information with a view to training and education. And that doesn't have to require very much. Here's an example of some slides of do's and don'ts for allies of the trans community. And these are simple instructions that are available, for example, to ask for preferred names and pronouns, and some don'ts to misgender or dead name. The idea here is to increase understanding of gender diversity with a view to enhancing social and family acceptance, reducing animosity, ignorance and misunderstanding. The second thing that I would do if I was Miss Trans Global would be to organise educational events. This could be producing a documentary, or it could be making a speech. Here's an example of a speech that was given by Sylvia Rivera in the 1973 Gay Pride Rally. I hope you enjoy it.
I do not believe in a revolution, but you ought to. I believe in the power. I believe in the
So the idea there is to increase understanding through education and organising some advocacy. The third thing that I would do would be to empower and connect individuals, such as referring individuals to resources such as healthcare and gender marker documentation. Again, one of the things I'd also like to do in this context would be to produce a motivational video. Here's an example called Be You. I hope you like it.
Just really embrace who you are, because being unique is very, very important. And fitting in is not really all that matters. It's being unique. Success.
So there, the idea is to affirm an individual's self-identity so that they can live authentically and lead a life of human dignity. Thanks very much for your attention, and bye for now.
Hi everyone, I'm Diva from Nigeria. I'll quickly go through my annual work plans quarterly and strategies I seek to employ to eradicate all forms of issues the transgender community faces globally. The first quarter of the year as Miss Trans Global 2020. Sensitization and awareness campaign. This sensitization and awareness campaign cuts across all facets of the government policies, the educational institutions, the media, traditional rulers, and the society at large, and even the family of the trans persons and trans persons themselves. The aim and objectives for this ideology and these strategies includes: 1. To promote love, self-acceptance and acceptance of all trans persons within the community and to the outside world. Secondly, to do away with all misconceptions of all trans persons the society has towards us. And also to influence government policies and promote inclusion. Last but not least, to showcase visibility, to show that trans persons are actually humans too, and we could be functional in all facets of life. The second quarter of the year as Miss Trans Global 2020, networking and collaboration. I seek to collaborate with all civil society organizations, legal entity and health sectors, and also security operatives. My aim and objective: 1. Safety and security. Trans persons should be safe and secured. Easy access to legal services, easy access to medical services, and also easy access to social amenities. The last quarter, being able to speak and speak out has been one of the challenges and problems in the transgender community because we lack training, skills, empowerment, and education. Hence, empowerment and education is very paramount and essential and could not be overly emphasized. And my aims and objectives for such ideologies include: 1. To empower most trans persons and educate them, because education is power. Secondly, to eradicate all forms of inferiority complex and low self-esteem to the barest minimum. Also, to suppress suicide and depression within the transgender community, reduce vulnerability, violence, and crime within the transgender community, to make sure that all trans persons attain their goals, aspirations, and achieve their dreams. Thank you. As a nominee for Miss Trans Global 2020, I choose to serve my community with all my best. Service to humanity includes passion, love, care, and hard work.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniele Drugi and I'm in here as Miss Sweden and Miss Trans Global 2020. Today I need to talk a little bit about my plan for 1 year. And I can say first, please sorry because my English is not good and I try read a test in here, but this is a little bit confused and I hope this is okay. I will tell you all about my 1 year plan and how I want to help the trans community and how I work today for this goal.
In Brazil, I do philanthropic work with the organization called Outros Olhares, which is directed by the Brazilian trans activist Klaus Soares. The organization works with homeless people and trans women at risk in the society. Personality, I work with transgender question things, my YouTube channel Daniele Drugi, where I do videos about beauty and life for trans and cis women. And in here, I daily have content and questions from trans women from all over the world.
My 1 year plan is to expand what I do today, and I want to build a much bigger network of different people from all over the world and with different professionals who can work together to give much more help to the trans community in the world. With all challenges we face in our transition, problems like with hormones therapy to use, psychology support, jobs and educations, aesthetics and other questions that can arise in our community.
Namaste. I am Victoria Tiger, representing the land of culture, religion, and diversity, India. I am here to compete for this prestigious crown, Miss Trans Global 2020. And if I win this competition, I will embrace my whole soul and energy to create a positive impact to the life of trans women across the globe. I will use this platform to spread awareness about education because I believe education is everything, especially a country like India where trans women are struggling to just have a single day meal because lack of education and acceptance. I will raise my voice to empower them to get what a human being deserves: equal rights, equal opportunities, education, equal treat, and acceptance. Being a compassionate person, I will take this responsibility attached to the crown as an advantage to help them, to educate them. I will use this title to influence them to start to fight for their life, for their goals. Namaste.
Mabuhay! Madayaw na adlaw. This is Niña Marie Similatan from Davao, Philippines. Joining this pageant is really a dream come true, where I could share my thoughts about our true heroes of our colorful world. While we are having our best days of our lives here, as the younger member of LGBTQ community, those who came before us are having a hard time. I am referring to those older members, particularly the Golden Gays, who are suffering from impoverished condition. In 1970s, an initiative called Home for the Golden Gays, who have been in operation but forcibly closed in 2012. My advocacy is to make and give life again in this beautiful initiative. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I envision a plan where through collective efforts by government and the private sectors, the senior gays who are incapable of supporting themselves will be welcome in a house built for them, where they could be live instead of streets, where they could be educated and trained for a livelihood, where they could be fed, sheltered, and treated. And I would like to start not only here in the Philippines, but for the entire world. According to Maria Theresa once said, not all of us can do great things, but all of us can do small things with great love. Thank you so much.
When it comes to advocacy, I believe that education and humanising the trans experience is the way forward in order to make change. I've been living here in Melbourne for the past 5 years, and since living here, I've been quite heavily involved in the trans community through advocating, education, and also volunteering. Some of the things I'm involved in is that I'm actually a host of a show called The Gender Agenda, which is a radio program on Joy 94.9. And it's a really great platform to elevate and raise the voices of trans community members, but also to share news and music from around the world. I was also the diversity director of Globe Melbourne, and I was the first trans person to be on their board in 25 years. How incredible is that? Alongside that, I've also started a community organisation here in Melbourne called Trans Sisters United, where I'm the co-founder, along with another trans woman here, and the program itself started about 18 months ago, and there was 3 of us that started the program originally. And through that, we then decided for our first project that we wanted to do something a bit different, and we wanted to give back to the community, and we wanted to share our experiences. So we did a project with the sister girls of the Tiwi Islands, and this was such a rewarding and incredible experience, and to be able to share our time and to hear their stories and to be able to give something back to the community. I think that through my professionalism, through my experience, through my knowledge of the trans community, I would be able to carry the Miss Trans Global title for 12 months to be able to further promote and educate people around the world. I think that by promoting trans narratives and trans excellence on my social media would be a really great start, and that would be something that I would be able to do and to show the world that people are, that we are normal people and that we can have these experiences and that they can see a different side to us that they might normally see in the media. I would also love to be able to continue to speak publicly and to raise awareness for the trans and gender diverse community. And I would also want to continue to raise the awareness of discrimination that we still face as a community. I think some of the first things that I would really like to do as the winner of Miss Trans Global, if I win, that I would really love to continue to promote organisations that are already existing. So places like Mermaids UK, the Marsha P. Johnson Institute in America, local organisations here like Transgender Victoria and Y-Gender. And I think one of the first things I would really love to do is to raise money for local organisations in Australia. And one would be for TV Design, which is where the sister girls of the Tiwi Islands work. So I would really love to be able to do that, which I think would be an incredible thing. And I would also love to raise money for the Gender Centre here in Australia, which is in Sydney, and to be able to give back the money to them. So please vote for me as Miss Trans Global 2020.
Even the Bible says a man should have a wife. So this issue of saying a man and a man will not work. Biblically, it is not allowed.
That's the truth. Just because I know that it's not acceptable. In Christ, it's not acceptable according to the Bible.
I wish I had the right. I would have killed them.
Killed them?
Yeah, it's unfair. How can you get married to your friend man?
Do you think they should be killed?
Yes.
My life in South Africa is lucky. I come from different country. I come from Burundi. I say to speak out sometimes is important. You feel happy. Maybe you can get someone. can accept, maybe can help you.
So many things are happening to the trans community all over the world simply because society does not understand transitioning. But if I win the crown to raise awareness, I will continue to use the media networks I've established in my country and abroad to cover trans narratives so that they can be a representation of trans voices in TV, radio, magazines, and newspapers. And I will form partnerships with other media networks all over the world to roll out the same strategy. I will also continue using my online show to host different kinds of trans women all over the world to share their narratives, also to demonstrate to the world that there's so much diversity within the trans community. The second objective I'm going to roll out is to have sensitization trainings with people working within the service provision sector, such as policymakers, law enforcement officials, and people working within the private sector, so that in the long run, transgender women can be afforded opportunities to participate in the mainstream activities, and they can also have access to services. The third objective will be to continue conducting community dialogues so that communities over the world can be afforded a chance to get into conversations around gender and sexuality, so that in the long run, the mystery of the trans community can be demystified. The last objective will be to continue forming partnerships with human rights organizations all over the world so as to continue advocating for the rights of trans women and advocate for their well-being.
Hello, my name is Talia Altura and I come to you all the way from Calgary, Canada. As Miss Trans Global, I will use my voice to change hearts and minds forever.
What do you hope to achieve if you were to win Miss Trans Global?
As an artist, I've always led with my heart. And through music, I've always felt free, and it's my way to tell my story. I believe that music is the language of the spirit, and it transcends culture and languages, and I hope to tell my story through music. Changing minds, on the other end, is a different feat. It's a more difficult undertaking. It involves the really hard conversation with our friends, our families, and members of our community, our church leaders even, and politicians about the real struggles of the trans identity. Especially now during the pandemic. Gender dysphoria is a serious condition and it can lead to this tragedy. At the end of the day, we all just want to be unconditionally loved, and I believe that we can get there. Storytelling creates empathy, and through empathy, hopefully one day we can gain understanding and respect and compassion, and hopefully acceptance. Thank you.
Breaking all the rules for your heart. You're enough, be who you are. Never hate anyone. Love is the truth, there to be you. Rebels of love. Be the source of life for those who are dying to live. Living a life incapacitated by pain. Heart of stone, regrets of old will never make you feel. So it's up to you to change it. It's now or never. Breaking all elected as the first winner of Miss Trans Global 2020, then I will continue to do as I have always been doing since the beginning of my transition, which is fighting for and spreading awareness of transgender lives. For the past 8 years, I have been making YouTube videos documenting my transition.
I'm gonna bear through it, so wish me luck, you guys, and see you later.
Just got out of surgery, and this is how I look.
Everything from hormones to surgeries, dating, and many of the injustices we face just for living our truth.
Unfortunately, nobody has stood up for trans lives or saying that trans lives matter. I really haven't seen any celebrities post about these 3 trans women that were just murdered within these few days. And I want to talk about that. Leila Balayez and Serena Angelique, 2 Hispanic women murdered. They were the 3rd and 4th transgender women murdered in Puerto Rico just this year.
Social media is the future, and I will continue to being a force in our community on all platforms. I will also go and make this promise to go to any events required of me, proudly donning my sash and my crown. You can rest assured that if I am chosen to represent Miss Trans Global 2020, that I will give 110% of me to continue the fight towards equality, self-love, acceptance, and justice. Not just for male to female trans individuals, but for all transgender individuals. Thank you.
In 2010, I was given the honor of the first ever Binibining Trans Filipinas crowned in my country, the Philippines, thus making me the pioneer of the Betera Group, a group of empowered Filipino trans women working closely with the Tulong Pinoy Movers Unlimited Incorporated, a nonprofit organization based in Manila, where we provide free services to the underprivileged people of the community, such as medical missions, livelihood programs, feeding programs, educational seminars, and skills trainings conducted by trans women like me. A Miss Trans Global is someone who will promote acceptance for the trans women of the world. And if I become Miss Trans Global 2020, I shall offer myself to the title, not make empty promises, nor plans that I will not be able to fulfill, but with a promise of just being me, Nikki, who has been doing her job, making a difference in the last 10 years, making the world know what a trans woman can do for her society. Because I believe that the best way that we can have the world accept us is not by imposing upon them our right to be accepted. No, but by letting them experience who we are and letting them see the difference that we can make in the society. I think that is the best way I can promote acceptance, inclusivity, love, tolerance, and hope for the trans women of the world as Miss Trans Global 2020. Maraming salamat po.
Hi, I'm Miss Jasmine, representing Nigeria from Miss Trans Global Pageant. I would love to raise awareness when I win as a beauty queen by opening an Instagram page for the LGBT community and adding as many people and as many members of the LGBT community on that Instagram page. I would also go as far as opening a WhatsApp group to teach people, enlighten people, and also educate people. I would go as far as going to different countries, different part of the world where the LGBT community has not been so fully grounded, where a lot of people don't know anything about the LGBT community. I would speak to a lot of people. I would do posters, I would do adverts, and basically get members of the LGBT community together. Sometimes do some works, works for peace, work for gender equality, works for so many things basically that contains or pertains to our community, because it's a very delicate one, and in this part of the world, Nigeria, we're not so accepted. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that the LGBT community is well accepted in Nigeria, despite the fact that the government frowns at it. I mean, it's a 14-year jail term here in Nigeria, but I'm going to do it in a way whereby it's going to be so safe for everybody. I mean, we're going to have WhatsApp group, we're going to have peaceful protests.
One year is fast. However, I want to view time as a gift, as an opportunity that we can and we should maximize. And if I were to be Miss Trans Global 2020, I will work efficiently and effectively towards a reign that is meaningful and worthy, forwarding a 3-point agenda: transformation, translation, and transcendence. Having a formed self transpires a transformed spirit. And for women like us, our transformation begins with the understanding and taking pride of our identity, of our unique womanhood. If I win, I will start my year with initiating Transform Woman. It's a support group, a community over social media, bridging transgender people from all over the globe and journeying together in finding the essence of being a trans individual. This is our safe space. And we can discuss things like, how is it to transition? How do we deal with our struggles? How is it to achieve and actualize our dreams? And having each other, hopefully, will become informed, formed, and transformed. After watching Disclosure, it dawned on me how media producers in the past have misconstrued our truths into tragic, comedic, and horrific representations. It's time for us to reclaim our narratives. And being a writer and a producer myself, I would spearhead the creation and production of True Colors. It's an online website featuring and forwarding trans stories, trans talent, trans heroes, trans pride. I see True Colors as a revolution to reclaim what is truly ours, our dignity. Lastly, we must now transcend boundaries, the barriers of exclusion that have hindered us from living freely. We must now create spaces wherein women in all forms are celebrated and dignified, unity is upheld, and humanity is valued. Hence, I will be forwarding #Womanity. It's an online campaign aiming to build partnerships among global trans and queer organizations, real allyship with cisgender people, with global leaders and business leaders, and constant correspondence with world institutions like the United Nations and other human rights groups. We must work hand in hand in developing and implementing policies that would help us rise above discrimination. #Womanity is not just a campaign, but it's a force for inclusion and acknowledgement. And if I were to win this competition, my reign will not be about me. It will be about us, holding each other's hand, working together as one trans community. We will lift each other, we will inspire one another, and together we will feel empowered. I am Mela Habijam from the Philippines. Let me be your Miss Trans Global 2020.
Vengo de la República Oriental del Uruguay. Su capital es Montevideo. Limita con Argentina y Brasil, con una población de 3.245.000 habitantes, rico en cultura, geografía y economía, con gran atracción turística, llamando la atención mundial de Punta del Este a Atlántida y Colonia. Se destaca culturalmente por el gran carnaval, su talentoso baile del candombe, el teatro y el hermoso tango. pionero en derechos LGTB, así llamándola la ciudad de la diversidad. A continuación hablaré de mi compromiso y el desafío como reina del concurso. Como representante y embajadora de Uruguay en el concurso Miss Trans Global, quiero pelear por los derechos de las chicas trans, de la visibilidad trans, que ya basta de transfobia, basta de discriminación, basta de decirnos no. Es hora de cambiar el mundo. Con amor podemos lograr a familias, a esos papis, que con el amor que le puedan brindar a sus hijos, con eso alcanza. Ese amor solucionará todos los problemas que hoy en el mundo están pasando. Me gustaría fomentar algunas cosas de Uruguay. Uruguay es un país LGTB muy bonito, donde cultivamos culturas, donde tenemos una ley trans, el acceso a estudiar, el acceso a la salud, el acceso a la identidad de género, el acceso a las hormonas y una infinidad de cosas más, que es un modelo a seguir. Así que eso estaría bueno presentárselo a las nuevas generaciones, a las nuevas nacionalidades, y con conjunto me gustaría trabajar en un proyecto con las distintas revistas que apoyan al concurso y fomentarle obviamente cómo son las normas del país donde vivo, que es muy bonito y se puede aplicar con la ayuda entre todos a varios gobiernos. Otra de las cosas que me gustaría, obviamente, al futuro, hacer una fundación sin fines de lucro, donde yo, obviamente, pueda brindarles ayuda psicológica, social y, sobre todo, un apoyo a esa familia que por ahí no está entendiéndote, no está pudiéndote ayudar. Así que me parece, y obviamente, a todos los chicos trans, LGTB, también dar una mano para que puedan, obviamente, salir adelante a flote. Así que nada, como visible me comprometo a que cambiemos el mundo y a que nosotros lo somos todos y que podemos. Así que nada, un besito a todas las participantes y mucha suerte.
Hello everyone, I am Alia Buruka, your Miss USA contest. From the bottom of my heart, I want to invite you to please donate money to the different trans organizations, also to volunteer to your groups in your community, and also to enjoy a different group of LGBT that you have like near to your house or anywhere in the city. Thank you for all your support. I am Alia Buruka, your Miss USA.
Hello everyone. Please let me start by saying, let us pray that a vaccine for COVID-19 will out soon to end this pandemic. I am Aloha Filipino, representing the Philippines. If I win this competition, It will lift up enormously my fabulous organization. I am the founder and the president of the fabulous organization. Our advocacy is human rights. My members are mostly trans women. On my reign as Miss Trans Global, I will continue what we've started. These pandemic lockdowns made a lot of people, LGBTQ+, and trans women in a very poor situation. In my country, trans women are really badly affected. As a Miss Trans Global 2020, I will continue distributing relief goods, face masks to our frontliners, and continue doing our love to nature with our beach and street cleanups. And to provide more feeding program in the future. Most importantly, educate. Seminars, speeches on gender development, awareness on respecting human lives with no discrimination. Stop homophobia. Wearing the Miss Trans Global crown symbolizes for me hope, to show the transgenders of tomorrow to view the world positively. Your chosen path will not be easy. You will encounter judgment, humility, and hate. But don't lose hope. Just be true to yourself. Remember, your today's fight is your tomorrow's freedom. Let me end this with the Bible praise. If you suffer in humiliation, always be patient, cause gold is tested by fire, and human character is tested in the furnace of humanity. So please support by hearting my video.
Isolation, rejection, not knowing the meaning of family, not knowing the meaning of belonging to a society is what I felt growing up as a child. And that is what we trans women face in our African home and African community. When coming out as trans, you get prepared to be rejected by the society. You get prepared to be abandoned by your family. And I think it is time we say no to that and tell them being trans doesn't make us inhuman, but we are humans and we deserve to be respected. If crowned Miss Trans Global 2020, I'll use this platform to advocate for all trans people all around the globe. It's time the world start hearing our voice, and I want to become that voice. My project will be called Take Control. I believe it's time as trans women we start taking control of our situation. We should stop allowing society define us, because we are strong women, capable of becoming entrepreneurs, capable of working in government offices, and capable of building a successful family. As a beauty queen, I'll organize talk shows during the period of my reign. I'll advocate for all trans women, Black, white, Asian, Indian, because we all experience the same discrimination and we deserve equal rights by the society. I would want to advocate for education also, because I believe it is the power we have and the tool to break through society. When we are educated, we are able to sit in government offices. When we are educated, we are able to open our own business as successful entrepreneurs. When we are educated, society sees us as important people and we can be stepped upon. It's time we embrace education. It's time we embrace self-love and also be confident in who we are. We are strong women. We are capable to be treated equally. And I want to be that queen that advocate for the right of all trans women around the globe. My name is Vessel Golden, Miss Ghana.
continue to experience persecution, discrimination, and abuse just for being who they are. I know that in my home country of Australia, statistics have shown that 42% of trans youth have attempted suicide, and an even higher percentage of trans people have been the victims of abuse. And so many countries around the world lack important policy that gives us trans people the right to safety, the right to freedom from discrimination, and the right to self-determination. As Miss Trans Global, it would be my honor and my privilege to be a proud ambassador and a role model for trans people everywhere that can confidently and fearlessly stand up and highlight these issues that we experience on a daily basis. I've seen some of the ugliness that comes with transitioning, and as a human rights advocate, I've met so many trans people who have shared their stories of abuse, persecution, neglect from family and friends, and I hope to elevate every single one of their stories to shine a light on the inequality that we continue to face to this day. I would work with major organizations such as the United Nations and the OHCHR. I would work with political parties, businesses, educational institutions, and the broader facing public, and help talk about these issues, highlight the inequality, and do everything in my power to make the world a safer place for trans people. And to all the trans people watching this video, well, you know, and I know, that the world can be an incredibly unforgiving place. So I hope one day I have the privilege of personally hearing your stories so that I can shine a light on the issues that you face, and that I might one day be an ambassador for trans people that you can be proud of.